Hi, I'm the host of the STO Smokers Lounge. I'm here to tell you about Anchor, the perfect app that you can use right now to start your own podcast network. You can broadcast right now. All you got to do is download the app, whether you have a phone, iPad, or even a laptop or desktop. You can right now download Anchor or go to Anchor FM right now and start recording and have your stuff broadcasted over multiple platforms such as Spotify. So go to Anchor today and start your podcast career like I have. Because trust me, I love me some Anchor.
Black Wall Street is now online, baby. That's right. Visit the GW District. Shop the very best in men's and women's apparel and accessories, home decor, office supplies, books, pantry items, and so much more. The GW District is a retail marketplace of black-owned products and media. We're both veteran and black-owned, and we're bringing you the best online shopping experience with products made by small businesses. Come and experience the GW District difference today at shopgwdistrict.com. That's shopgwdistrict.com. The GW District, a retail marketplace of black-owned products and media.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Just waiting for this beautiful thing to hit up. I'm enjoying your Twitter feed. I'm doing my research. And, you doing some work, putting in some work, I must admit.
Well, I try, yeah. I mean, and it's funny because I'm really only part-time. I mean, I am and I'm not. I this is like my only thing. But, you know, I also am a mom and I have my kids half the time. So it's like I'm either not working at all or I'm like getting it in.
Oh yeah, no, because even to the point that like people don't realize we have to balance our lives because, like I said, the biggest thing, the misconception is that they think that we ain't married, we don't have kids, we don't have jobs or any of that good stuff.
Right.
All we do is just fuck and suck and that's it.
I mean, there's a lot of that. So
I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying, but people got to realize we are regular people with extraordinary jobs. That's all we are.
Well, yeah, and that's the funny part. So I actually, a couple times I've been recognized when I've been out and about, and it was like weird for me because I am just a normal person. So I was like, whoa, this is trippy. It's cool. Has that happened to you too?
Yeah, I actually had that happen a couple of times, and when I was out and about, even within a actual party one time,
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because I was trying to be discreet because I was there with my wife. It was like a BBW, strip party. And what was so funny about it was I was outside smoking a cigarette. The guy came. He was like, "Yo, man, Big Country," because that was my porn name. He was like, "Yo, man, I just want to tell you, the man, I love your shit, man. You know what I'm saying?" He was like, "Yo," he was like, "I ain't know you gonna be in the party, bro." I said, "Damn." But yeah, it's interesting when people recognize you because it also feels good because that knows that you're doing something that people are feeling and they're liking and they're enjoying and they're buying. That's the real high right there when you get the check for me.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like, I love that I've been able to turn this into like my full-time income, but at the same time, like, the part that's the most exciting for me is like I know that I'm giving them something that they want in their most intimate moments. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just, I don't really think of just some guy jerking off. Like, I feel like that's somebody who's doing something for themselves that maybe maybe they're not getting it at home. Maybe they're not in a relationship. Like, it's just a moment where they can feel some relief. And with all the shit going on in the world, like, it's nice to have some relief sometimes. And I love that I get to kind of participate in that, even from a distance,
You become a part of it. It's like this. This is what I tell anybody that like doing podcasting. And it's also porn. You want to become a part of somebody's day.
Yeah.
Period. And it's funny that people might say that because it's porn, but think about it. You have people Men are creatures of habit. So we'll get up in the morning, they say, and we're following Amanda Thick. We're going to go to her site about 6 a.m. in the morning, go look and see what she got going on. And we'll do it every time, especially they say update every Monday or every Tuesday, what have you, period. So we're creatures of habit. So trust me on that. We love watching porn. And we'll spend money. And with that being said, let me do the particulars and we can get this thing on the road, sexy.
Sure.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Smokers Lounge. And I am your host, Kavanaugh of the Southern Champ, a.k.a. the Porn Rap Star. Y'all know what it is. Find all my links with one link, allmylinks.com/porn rap star. Let me tell you about 3 wonderful sponsors that we need to brag about. I'm talking about the first one being the Facebook and LS community, lsworld.com. Next up is the hottest adult magazine in the game. I'm talking about Eroticism Magazine. So go to eroticismmagazine.com. Get yourself a monthly subscription. Get it digital or get it paperback and mailed to you. And last but not least, also black owned. For you consumers, a new place to consume your Triple S content. For you content creators, 90% profit. I'm talking about excitebunny.com. Whether you're a consumer or whether you're a content creator, porn star, webcam girl, whatever you are on the spectrum, just get a profile. Also, we're a proud member of the GW District Black Podcasting Network. Also, while you at shopgwdistrict.com, like it says at the beginning, shop and buy products from over 500 black-owned retailers, shops, boutiques, and stores. Also, check us out on SkyhawkAfterDarkTV.com, as well as the BGP LLC app, which you can listen to on your phone or in your browser. So I'm about to shove and let this sexy thick. Yeah, she gets down, people. Introduce herself. Oh my God.
Thank you.
So proceed. Introduce yourself,
Mama. I'm Amanda Thick, and that's with 2 Ks. Everybody spells it wrong. It's so funny. I just love to see all the variations, but I'm all over the internet. Can't miss me.
So. Yes, you are. You one is making a strong name for yourself, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's funny. I'll have people come up and they're like, "Wow, your Twitter." I'm like, "Whoa, thanks."
Yeah, because it's like I call it a hit list. And it's the guys or ladies that females, well, actually guys that females that work with. And just scrolling down, just seeing some of the guys that you would work with, what have you, from Puerto Rock, seeing you looking gorgeous with his dick in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Working with Jeff Models or what have you. It's like you have done a lot. How long have you been in the business?
Not even that long. It's been about 1.5 years now.
Well, y'all girls with this year, man, y'all be doing 3 years of work in a year.
I like to work and I like to fuck, so it's the best combination. So as soon as I flip from mom mode into porn star life, then it's I'm all about working. So I love it. I love the creative parts of it. So it's more than just sex. And that's one thing I've found to be very interesting is as people in my real life, my personal life, have come to find out what I do. I let them know it's all parts of me. It's I am a mom, but I'm also very sexual. I'm very sensual. And I love that I get to kind of bring that to life. And I love the creative parts of it. It's not just fucking that's a part of it. It's great. And there's editing, there's angles, there's lighting, there's so much creative juice that's required of you. And I love to just learn and put myself in a position where I can always grow. And so I think that's why I've grown fast is I love taking in what people want to share with me and using it. So, I've had some good people around me with good advice and I implement You know, I think a lot of people don't necessarily do that. They want to do their own thing. And
Yes,
I'm like, yeah, bring it on.
I'm looking at one of your trailers for Bondage and 2 Cream Pies, and that shit is hot the way it is. Just the trailer is edited. You know what I'm saying? And everything, and the camera views and all that.
Thank you.
Because, like I said, you make it a point to look a certain professionalism with your filming, just off gate, just from just going down your Twitter feed or what have you. So, with that being said, let's go to the beginning. What got you in this business?
Oh wow! You know, it's funny. I totally fell into this by accident. Is that possible?
It happened to me too, but go ahead.
Yeah, my background is massage. I've been a massage therapist since the beginning of time. And a couple of years ago, I started having clients asking for sensual massages. And I'd rejected it for a long time, but I finally started doing that and discovered I was very good at it, and discovered I had, clients who would drive for hours to come and see me. And then with all the lockdowns and all the things, I ended up moving out of California and coming to Vegas. And my very first massage client turned out to be a porn producer. And he's like, look, you're kind of living this taboo life that people would love to see, he's like, put on a camera. I was like, you're asking for something totally different though. I'm like, I do sensual stuff, but have I fucked a client here and there? Maybe that's happened. May or may not have been the case.
Wink, wink. But go ahead.
Wink, wink. He was like, put on a camera, do it for real. And he's like, I'll help you. I'll give you guidance. And so he was really my mentor, and really has continued to be. Anytime I have questions or need help or anything, I hit him up, and he's been amazing to help me out. Kyle Balls, WCA Productions, he's amazing. And so he's the one who kind of took me under his wing, brought me in. And then from there, he would, occasionally he would have a content party or something. And I didn't really want to make content at his parties. I just wanted to meet people. I wanted to get more involved in who's the male talent, who can I work with, that kind of thing. And so I would go to a couple of these parties, and that's when I started meeting the professionals. And the first time I worked with a professional, Eddie J, amazing person. I love him. It was such a drastic difference from amateur scenes, because he knew his angles. He knew how to stay open for the camera. He knew all the nuance. And after that, I was hooked. I was like, bring it on. I want to work with the professionals.
Yeah, because I'm sorry. Once you work with a professional cameraman, professional talent, when you do it on a professional level, you kind of can't go backwards, because it's kind of not just the fact of the aesthetics of it or the look of it, but just the way it feels when you're filming with like that.
Yeah.
The story of it, how good it makes you feel like I'm truly a fucking porn star. I'm truly a star.
Yeah.
I'm a content creator. You feel what I'm saying?
Yes, it's another level, because I'm also an artist, and so I look at this as art. Every piece of this, I'm a quality over quantity person. I prefer high quality things. So if I'm having a high quality experience, why would I ever give that up?
I'm saying, because it's kind of so with your first shoot, let's go to the first shoot that you did. What was some of the things, how was it going on set? Because it was your first time really being on professional set. And how was it like? Did you know the male talent ahead of time? What did some of the things the male talent producer did to help you relax, be comfortable within the setting so you can give your best performance for your first time?
And you're talking about first professional shoot, right?
Yes. I mean, we could do your first, because you were doing what, pretty much content or amateur, or what would be considered amateur first?
Yeah, I think when I very first started, the first 3 months or so was just amateurs. I was basically trying to find guys who'd be willing to go on camera, and can you stay hard with a condom, and things like that.
what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Right. So that's how I started. And then once I worked with the professionals, I upgraded, like I was like, all right, I'm staying here. And
So,
then,
yeah, so that's what I mean. So now versus you sitting here got to deal with Charlie down the block, you're walking on the set.
yes.
You feel where I'm coming from?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
to walk on that set, because I know it's a little surreal because like, oh shit, it hits you. Damn, it's serious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, okay, so I'll tell you the first production that I did, it was still it was a small production company. So it was a good step for me because it was a step into a bigger arena, but it wasn't like Brazzers, right? It's like it's not it was more indie, but it was also such an incredible experience for me because I had never filmed in front of a crew. Where you're stopping, starting, doing all the pretty girls beforehand, like all the steps and things. So they were amazing about explaining everything to me because they knew it was my first professional shoot. So they were very patient, very, I don't know. They wanted to guide me through it so I could be at my best. And I felt like they did an amazing job at that. And I felt so comfortable that, at one point I'm doing reverse cowgirl, but I'm bouncing. And I was like, thank God for my trainer that I've been working out that I can do this. And get those quads working. And they were like, it's
about
okay.
to say, I like you because you said you did reverse cowgirl. I'm like, I love a woman that can do reverse cowgirl. But go ahead.
I mean, I could promise, I know I could get better at it. I need to get my ass back to the gym again. But still, it was one of those things where I was like, kind of joking about like, holy shit, I don't know how long I can do this. And they were like, it's cool if you need to stop, like we'll just stop and then you start again and we'll just keep rolling. So they, it was a really great experience where I was like, this is awesome. I'm taking a little rest between these, killer quad exercises with my ass straight up in the air and a room full of people looking at me, and I'm totally okay with this. This is amazing. It was so bizarre, and I was amazed at how comfortable I was, though, really, because I expected I would be completely freaked out with a crew of people, and I was fine. It was
But
easy.
see, you kind of broke the ice when you was doing the content shoots prior to that,
I think so.
because one is not just getting comfortable with a bunch of people; it's getting comfortable in front of the camera first and foremost.
Right.
Well,
Well, I've always been comfortable somehow. Before I got into this, I was also doing like online coaching, and I did a lot of live streaming and teaching through video. And I kind of became very comfortable talking to a camera. And so I think that translated, that helped me a lot. So when I started working with the camera, I was like, oh, it's just like another person there.
and then I'm pretty sure we went back and looked and said, damn, I look very sexy right there. Damn.
It's so funny because I edit my own stuff. And I was looking at I think the first couple months there were things I would see my body and I'm like, oh my gosh, am I really putting this, I'm really putting this in front of people? And now I look at my stuff and I'll be honest, I'm probably at my heaviest I've been ever in my whole life at this moment. And I still look at my content and I'm like, God damn, that's hot. Like it's hot.
Yeah.
And it's not about if my body's perfect or whatever. Like I don't even care anymore. I'm just like, if I can see that I'm having a great time, I can see how sexy this whole thing is, and I'm turned on by looking at it. I'm not even looking at my body anymore. I don't even care. So it's nice to be able to look at myself and be like, wow, that's hot.
Yeah, because it's like you know how to work the camera from watching your stuff. Your sex basis is hot as shit. I'm not even going to front out this piece. And I actually saw you do the reverse cowgirl. I'm like, God, yes, I miss that make me miss the game of being retired, just seeing positions like that and looks, period. So it's kind of like, so with now that, like, once you start doing the professional scenes, what have you, how did it affect the way that you shoot your content moving forward? Because now that you done tasted being in front of that camera, also it also taught you to be mindful of things that you probably wouldn't have been mindful for with doing with what you were doing with the other guys. You feel what I'm coming from? You know,
Oh yeah.
certain angles and stuff like that. So how did working with the major companies change over the short period of time how you shot your own content?
Oh, that's a really good question. I how do I even answer that? It definitely elevated my game, like for sure, because I'm always sure to have multiple angles. I'm always sure to make sure there's movement, zooming in, zooming out, moving things. Like I want it to keep your attention beyond just the sex. Just there's a reason that movies are cut and edited the way they are. So I look at edits now, and when I'm filming, if I know there's going to be a hard cut, I try and at least create a transition so that while I'm editing, it makes it easier. Just little things like that, the angles that I've learned, the lighting tricks that I've learned. So it definitely applies. I ended up investing in all the lighting equipment, and so over time you just kind of realize, oh, I want to do more like this, so let me buy the things I need for that. So I've definitely invested into myself and what I'm doing, pretty significant.
To me, the way that, like, for example, when they see you upgrade, they want to see you at that grade, not below.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because the simple fact of that, now you're giving them your best look. And when they see your best look, they want to see you at that best look at all times. And that's not just to outfits or makeup. It's to the type camera that you use, the lighting that you use, the angles, the way you shoot it, or what have you. Even down to the male talent that you work with. I'm seeing you going toe-to-toe with the great Don Prince.
Yes. That whole scene, I told him, it's funny because we started talking before the scene and I said, I'm scared of you. And as we were talking, they were like, stop, we got to roll camera because this is too good of a conversation. This needs to be in the scene. So.
Yeah, sir, because I see when you went down for the ride, you eased it down. She eased it down a little bit.
Yeah. Honestly, most of the BBC talent specifically, I mean, not just BBC, but any of those really, really big guys, I've been called a size queen, but I don't really believe it because I have to take my time to get down on that shit because I can take it all. I can take it. I just don't want to crack a rib in the process, and I want to make sure that I'm good.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, when you're on set, it's different than what it is offset. Because 9 out of 10, you're going to have a dude that's going to has a strong dick because that's the business that we're in, period. So, but you may not be one that want a fucking horse to fuck in your personal life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, that what people don't realize is that everything is aesthetics when it comes to us. That's why we are known as porn actors, porn stars, period. Yeah, it's dudes. It's hard for us to stay hard. The motherfuckers might have to do the injection. Some of them might have to take the pill. It's our job to stay hard and pop on time and on cue.
Yeah, I think about what male talent has to go through, and it blows my mind because I can't think of that. It's got to be so hard because the physical part, the mental part, all the stop and starting, and all the part that the theatrical piece of things, behind the scenes makes it so difficult to get an erection and then maintain one, and then to be able to come, and then if it's going to take a while or you don't think it's going to happen, then there's more pressure. Like there's so much going on for male talent that I marvel every time that they can do their job.
Yeah. Because I mean, me being male talent for 15 years, trust me, it's had to keep it hard. Even if you wasn't attracted to the female, even if you and the female ain't mixing or what have you, it's about being professional and having to put in the work. That's why I tell you, don't be scared to get a Blue Chew. It's okay. I ain't say Viagra. Blue Chew is a little bit different. But Blue Chew is okay because your job is to stay hard. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to make money with this damn scene. I need 20 to 25 minutes. 40 minutes is good. I'm just saying. Well,
Right.
period. So now, you said you've been doing this for a year, so you have worked with actually top companies within a year. You had a strong rookie year because
Well,
it was
yeah.
like doing it for 3. When I looked down your feet. So
I mean,
but go ahead.
well, so it's been a year and a half, just to be fair,
Okay.
Year and a half, but I don't know, like, I don't know what, maybe I call me naive. I don't know exactly what are top companies either, but I have worked with companies that I have loved to work with.
The Pumper Pass, that's the top of the line for the BB Doves.
I loved working with Plumper Pass. I've done a scene with BBW Highway. That was great.
Yeah.
Blush Erotica. I've worked with Jeff's Models.
Yeah.
What are some other? I can't even think.
Yeah. You hitting it, and then you did a scene with Richard Mann. The visuals just look off the chain.
Oh my gosh, that was that scene. Oh my gosh, he's huge. So I was like, oh, pray for me, God. I don't know if I can do this.
He's a beast and he's a legend. You get what I'm saying? It's like,
and he's a really nice guy. Like, on top of it, he's a great person, So I enjoyed working with him. We we did that scene,
mm-hmm.
and then our cameraman had to go, and he was like, well, I'm still here if you want to keep filming. So I ended up just setting up my phone and doing kind of like a behind the scenes type of, more amateur style video.
Mm-hmm.
I filmed it with my phone, and my freaking phone it overloaded on data or something. It stopped recording right before the orgasm.
Oh, damn.
And it was a good one. And it was like, wow. So then I was like, crying that it didn't work. And he's like, that's okay. Let's just go again.
I'm saying, I mean, because I didn't know that where something got lost. And so the next day I was like, look, after we film this scene, you're going to put back on what you had on yesterday, and we're going to do a little bit longer to get lost, period. Because, I mean, that's the beauty when you're doing content versus a paid gig.
Right.
It's more flexible.
Yeah, which makes it a little more real too. Like, that's the one thing that I still love about being independent. I can still control the content that I make, how I do it. If I'm, and I'll be honest, I don't always have an orgasm. So a lot of my scenes, I'm loud. I'm very loud. So, sometimes you think I may have come, maybe I didn't. So when I do have an orgasm, I can market those even more because
mm-hmm.
They're real. When I have an orgasm, they're massive, and they're pretty. I mean, when I watch them, I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, when you make a girl come on camera, it's a beautiful thing, especially before you have to pop.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's kind of like it's like, put it this way, like, I love it when like she might be riding and she comes and then she just stopping, their ass just be shivering and shaking.
Yes.
Great for editing of the trailer. That I edit that right into the trailer, like, boom, so you can see like, yeah.
Body's shaking, yes.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, I mean, people really understand we really do fuck. Don't get it twisted. But like I said, it's just the difference is we have to fuck with thought. And so people understand what I mean by that is we have to be mindful of the camera, the cameraman, actually, of the angles that he want to get. And even if you ain't got a cameraman, you talking about POV, or even you one of those ones that do the tripod, the angles that you want to get, the way you want to shoot it, the editing, even to the point of when you walk into a room, you scope out what you want to do in the room. And understand the mental prep of doing a shoot, walking into the shoot. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. You can have a shoot that takes, I don't know, let's call it 3 hours. 2 hours of that is just cameras and lights and setup and all the extra stuff. And then, the actual filming, maybe 40 minutes, right? Wouldn't you say maybe 20 to 40?
And see, that's the new school way. Cause see, it's like with plumber pads in the major companies, and I hate that girls don't do this anymore. Or as much photo shooting the outfit that you're about to record in. Because to me, pictures are a great advertisement. Hands down. And also, you are a porn star, which also encompasses being a model.
Yeah, I learned that one the hard way.
Oh, oh, you just ain't just going to just say that and then just leave that out there. No,
oh, dude. They were like, okay, so we're going to do Pretty Girls. I'm like, what's that? Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, well, we're going to take like some modeling pictures. Okay. What do you want me to do? Like, I haven't had like model training and shit. So I was like, how does this work? And then frankly, I've always been kind of a tomboy, really. So I've never felt particularly girly or graceful or sexy. So I feel like if I try to be sexy, I just look like a weirdo. Like, it doesn't work for me.
I don't know what you be seeing. Not what I'm seeing on your damn Twitter feed, please.
I guess I just feel like I'm like goofy, and so that's why it's, when they're like sexy face, I'm like, what? So I just end up smiling a lot because like I'm a happy person, and
that's good.
Yeah, and sometimes sometimes sexy comes out because I'll be thinking about all the things that are about to happen, and that gets exciting. But I did learn the hard way when they were like Pretty Girls, and I was like, what? So I got schooled real quick on that.
Yeah, because see, people don't realize that will help sets you apart from the herd, because it's also, once again, the aesthetics. If I see you with your selfies, but you give them a picture where you dressed up sexy and it's professional looking, or a shot professional looking, period. Because if you're able to shoot professional for video, you should be able to shoot professional with a camera, because that's I tend you probably using the same camera that also take pictures. Let's keep
Pretty
it
much.
You know what I'm saying? So if it looks 4K, I'm pretty sure the picture's gonna look 4K. And two, also it helps with the fantasy. Because I think also that's what's been lost in this era is people don't realize understanding and mastering being a fantasy, being a sex object, being a sex symbol, period. And you make it a point from how you film, the picture that you take, to emphasize sex symbol. You feel what I'm saying? Because even to the point like this picture, this collage with the makeup and everything, the outfits that you get, how much do you take into your account, the image / the brand?
It's evolved. So I take that into account very much now. And I think the joy of starting amateur and evolving into pro really helped me, because I started with what I thought would look good, right? And then as you're editing or as you see people's reactions or responses or how much something sells, you start to figure out, okay, well, let me try something different, And so it allowed me to really like step up what I'm trying to explain, like what I realized, like certain angles that I would look better. When I'm editing, I'm like, oh, when I did that thing with my arm, or when I arch my body like this, like it looks really good. Yeah. So it is something that I naturally do anyway, but I became more aware of it because I became more aware of like, I want to build a brand. I want to build a following, and I want to hone in on what I think are my strengths and go from there. And, don't change my brand according to what other people want, because everybody wants so many different things. Like, that's not, I stay very true to myself, but I also stay true to the art of it. And if I can find beauty in myself and share that with people and they enjoy it, that's the part that works for me. And I think that's why my brand is successful, because I'm me. And I just try and accentuate the parts of me that I think are most interesting. Or, you know, like when I see certain colors on me, I'm like, oh, that looks really good. I should do that again, or I should try this other thing. So I'm always trying to upgrade.
See, yeah, you're supposed to. That's the point.
Yeah, but it's amazing how many people don't. That's the interesting thing.
If you want longevity in this business, you have to upgrade. Because after a while, it's going to bore the fan base, and they're going to want more anyway. You know, period. And that's facts. You know.
Yeah.
So because even to the point that now porn's become a little bit more extreme, you know, they you know, anal, you know, gangbangs and stuff of that nature, what have you, you know, period. So with that, with one, are you into gangbangs and anal and all that good stuff?
I have not done any of that. I have considered doing the gangbang thing. I don't know. So here's another piece of my story, is that at some point a modeling agency reached out to me, but it's not adult modeling, just like normal regular modeling. And for the interesting thing is, regular modeling doesn't like the adult world. Like there's, you know, they're very uppity about it. So
True.
Yeah, so there were things they were like, okay, if you haven't already done it, then like hold off and see, you know, where your modeling goes. And I was like, oh, okay. And then the next thing I know, they were like, okay, we thought, Amanda, that you had just done some adult. We didn't know that you were like
that you just basically became a well-known porn star.
They were like, we don't know if we can do anything with you. You're too known at this point. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not that big. And they were like,
no, you're not, darling. It's because people don't realize the reach. People don't understand reach and growth. Because sometimes your money may not tell you the reach that you actually have. You feel me?
I believe that.
Because even with me, like sometimes I be wondering where's motherfuckers really feeling this podcast, this damn third, then little things in the universe shows me that yes, motherfuckers feeling what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of the passion. That's part of being stubborn and say, no, I'm going to succeed in this shit. I'm going
to,
you know.
Yeah, and I'm going to start a podcast too. Like, because it's funny when you'd reached out to me, and then I don't know, I get so many messages, shit gets lost, and I have like ADHD like times 10. So I'm just like all over the place. So then you messaged me again. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I wanted to do this because, you know, I understand when you have a podcast and you want to have these conversations. It's a part of, like, the conversation itself is the joy, and the fact that you get to share that with other people is even more fun. You know, it brings more people to the party.
Yes. And
that's something I definitely wanted to do as well. So I've started kind of working on that. I want to do in-person interviews though, so that it adds a little element of challenge to it. But I this whole podcast game, like I want to get on this too. So
because to be honest with you, like I said, even with me, it's about telling our stories, and not only showing that we're more than just that. For females, they're more than just women that suck dick and get fucked and do gangbangs and shit. No, they actually have opinions on the world and politics and everything else. They're more complex than what the fans sometimes can understand or be given. And podcasts from, like I said, Lily Craven, my girl Curvy Mary, Kyle and Jewel, and all, it's a whole bunch of them. It's showing the world that you're getting the story from the people that's actually doing the shit versus you hearing a podcaster that never did porn discussing porn. It's not the same.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I never knew there was so much to know about this industry. When I accidentally got into it, I was like, wow, there's so much to learn here.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Now, of course, with you doing content, of course, I know guys hit you up or what have you. Because with the caveat that you're also thinking of your brand because you done shop with major companies and the whole nine, what do dudes have to bring to the table for you to shoot content with them?
I love this question. I love this question because it implies what?
They all do. That's why I asked.
Yeah, because the question itself implies that you better bring something to the table, and yes, like please do, because people hit you up all the time. You get the random highs. How are you? Like you get the random stuff like that, but then when somebody comes to you with the right vibe and the right kind of information and the right attitude and everything, those are the people I'm more open to working with. So I don't require that the person has a ton of experience, although I do prefer to work with people who know their angles and know what they're doing. Like that is definitely my preference. But oh, hang on one second. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay. My phone rang and I didn't want it to kick us off the computer. Yeah, I'm like, oh no. What I want to hear from somebody is like, are they talent tested? Are they like, where do they have their content? Who's their audience? Because maybe they're into like fetish stuff and that's not my thing. Or, it has to match what they're trying to get out of it has to match what I'm trying to get out of it, or at least somehow some kind of overlap with our audience. Because if somebody only wants, I don't know, foot fetish stuff, I might be interested because I want to learn more about how to do that. I do, frankly, because that's something I've been told by so many people, like I should get into it. And I'm like, I just don't really know what I'm doing. So I'd be interested in doing that. But at the same time, I've never done it. So my audience, are they going to be into it? I don't know.
Yeah, because you have to take into account what your audience into. And sometimes if you just, let's just say, just throw it on them, it might backfire.
Right. Sometimes. Like I approached somebody to work with pretty early on when I started, and he turned me down, and he wasn't a dick about it. He was gracious, but he turned me down because he told me his audience doesn't really like BBWs. And it could have been something he's not into, but at the same time, I can't argue with him when he's like, this is what sells, this is what doesn't. Like, yeah, that it's a business decision. I get that. And I can't take that personally because it's a business decision.
It's like, because I say this to any female when it comes to dealing with male talent. And I know people might say that I'm a little harsh, but like I really give a shit what people think. I really don't. But it's like this. Iron sharpens iron. It's less headache when you deal with an experienced male talent. It's a calculated risk, as they like to say. Because he's been through it, he done it, he's used to it, he done been in front of the camera, and he's not going to sit there and catch feelings, and he's going to treat it as a professional would. I mean, don't get it twisted. You kind of got to woo each other when you meet each other on camera. Because I got to make you want me, you got to make me want you in some ways. You feel what I'm saying? Which means feel comfortable. We got to talk. We got to conversate, discuss boundaries, all that good shit. You know what I'm saying? Find camaraderie so there can be some chemistry on camera, what have you. Maybe, help you oil up your body so for the photo shoot or what have you. Give you a nice little massage. I don't know. I'm just saying. But, yes, fellas, you help them lotion up. That kind of help breaks the ice. It ain't nothing naughty about it. She can't lotion her own back. I'm just saying, stop, get your mouth out the gutter. Now, anyway. But what I'm saying is, it's kind of like it helps towards that marriage to make that scene work and pop. Period.
Right.
And because people don't realize fans can tell when you ain't got chemistry. Fans can tell that scene that you won't feel in him, he won't feel in you. Your job is to make them not see that. No matter what it is.
Yeah, and that's, I think that's one thing that I'm fairly good at is I'm very present. I'm very present when I have sex. So even when I'm filming, yes, I'm more engaged in my mind than I am in my personal life. I don't think at all. I'm very carnal and in my body, and it's great because I'm not thinking, and so sex is even more fulfilling. So on camera, yes, I'm thinking more, but I still know how to be in my body, and I still know how to just find the chemistry between my body and his, right? So it helps a lot when it's somebody that maybe is kind of new or whatever. So but I do end up working with the same people. I have like a little handful of people that I work with pretty regularly because we have great chemistry and we've established the rapport already. So I know the scene is going to be fucking fire,
Yeah. So now y'all people know I set her up, right? Yeah, I set up for that time of the show, people, where the pussies go dry, the dicks go limp. Let's talk about the business. Yeah, we're going to talk about the uncomfortable shit, the shit that no one wants to talk about, how the sausage is being made, how the money is being made, the truth about this business, because that's what I'm about when I do this podcast, because I don't pussyfoot around about it. The ups and downs, the money, one money's good, one money's not, period. Like I said, you done been in business for a year. A year and a half. I'm pretty sure you started off doing content. So speak to one, how it's not as easy to make money at this, and the work it takes, and the things that people don't see and don't kind of understand of what we have to do in order to see a check from this.
Oh, it's so much work. It's so much work. And I think that's, most people don't want to put that much to it. So they'll make the amount of money equal to how much they put into it, really. I mean, it sounds cliche, but it's, if this is something where people just film something with their partner, their boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, in the room, and just want to like randomly post stuff online, you're not really going to make any money. There's not consistency. The thing is with the marketing, like, it has to be interesting. It has to be good quality. It has to be consistent. You have to engage with people. Otherwise, why do they care about you? Especially on platforms like OnlyFans and ManyVids, and the ones where it's not free. Why would people pay to see that scene when they can see the same type of thing for free? The answer is that there's a personal connection with you, which requires you to actually be involved. So it's a lot, and it really is a full-time job. That's why this is what I do full-time. Even though I only film part-time, I work on this full-time. So
don't trust me. That's when I'm at the job. I'm on Twitter tweeting. I'm at work doing work. It'd be like that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a lot. Like, I had to kind of shift my schedule because I was filming, basically like every other week when I didn't have my kids, I would work and I would be filming both times. But then I found myself backlogged with editing and then posting online. And even now, I'm not great about posting online, like Instagram. I post sometimes. I'm not great at it. I'm better at Twitter. And I'm really good at OnlyFans because I'm on there every day. And but it's keeping those conversations going. It's letting them know that they matter to me, my fans. Letting them know that I'm listening to the things that they're interested in seeing. And I don't know. It's more than just having sex and posting something. Sometimes it's way bigger than that.
Because one scene ain't gonna make you $1 million.
No.
It ain't gonna get you a check technically.
Right.
It takes multiple to get what you need. Period. So, with that, how much do you film? Like, how often do you film?
I started coming up with a system where what I started doing in the last maybe 4 or 5 months is just testing once a month and then filming about 7 to 10 days in that window, because I didn't have a full 14 days without my kids. So like 7 to 10 days I would have. And so I would just try and pack in as many shoots as I could in those days. So sometimes I was doing like 2 a day.
I mean, hey, that ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. It depends on the scenes that you're doing, though.
It depends on the scene, right? Some of those scenes you're dying, but I would try and get myself a whole month's worth of content in that week, and then I'd kind of forget about it the next week when I'm, in mom mode, and then the week after that, then I go straight to editing and scheduling posts and that sort of thing. So in between when I am in mom mode, I'm still answering messages, I'm still on social media, I'm just not like editing porn in the room or anything. You know what I mean? Like I save all the editing for the other week. So as far as filming, 10 days a month. And then the editing can be the other week. So.
Okay, no, trust me, I even remember the days when it was, because people don't understand when we say editing, it's not just you editing the scene, you're also editing the clips, the trailers. Mm-hmm. If you want to go there, the flyers, is a lot. Shit, even with the podcasting, it's like I got to make audio clips, upload the full video, especially now that I'm doing video podcast episodes. So I got to put that together and shit like that. I had to make intros. I'm like, damn.
Mm-hmm. I just made a new outro. So at my videos that I basically do 2 styles, kind of like I mostly do, my production-ish looking videos, but I also, especially on OnlyFans, I'll break them into small clips, or I'll turn it into 2 or 3 parts, so I'll break one scene up so that way it's a little cheaper for people to buy. And so sometimes it's more amateur looking and sometimes it's more professional looking. And so the reason I do it that way is, oh my gosh, I just totally lost my train of thought. That's really funny. That happens to me a lot.
It happens to me. I'm 47 years old, so it happens to me.
Oh, it's so funny. It happens. It does happen to me. But I did smoke a little. I don't smoke very often, by the way. And
see,
I haven't had it.
You smoked for me, didn't you? You smoked the blunt for me for the podcast, didn't you?
I mean, I totally did. Because it's your... Come on, I had to. I had to smoke before I came on here. Are you fucking serious?
I feel so special now. Thank you. Oh, you just made my day. Thank you.
It's been months. I could go months without smoking anything. And all of a sudden I'm like, hey, I'm going to do this podcast. Let me smoke some. So I'm like, I'm a noob. What?
Smokers Lounge. What could I say?
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly appropriate for this conversation. So I don't even know what I was talking about. It was just basically like I've got a couple different styles because I want to make it easy for people to buy. Some people like more amateur looking things. Some people want more production looking things. I try and mix it up a little bit and see what works, but I just play with it. That's really where I'm going. Is just I make it fun for me, because if I'm having fun, I know the content will be good.
Yeah, when it comes to your content, we're going to start with that first, with this question.
Okay.
I'm trying to use the word, what genre do you want to reach with your content? And what I mean by that is because it's called expanding your repertoire, I guess. Like, for example, many girls are looking to do anal more in their repertoire. Some girls are looking to do BDSM, whether it's their dom or their submissive. Now, from listening to you, you ain't a fetish type girl. You sound like you ever do boy girl, then do some solo work.
Yeah, it's so funny. Okay, so I just invested in a VR camera, and I'm really excited to start using this. I love boy-girl scenes, but I know with the VR, the solo stuff looks so good. And I'm not, like, I don't feel like I know what the fuck I'm doing when I'm doing solo work. Because if there's a guy there, I know what to do. But when
I mean,
I'm by myself, I'm like, what do I do now?
yeah, because I always ask a female, I was like, what is your motivation? Because you're by yourself. Don't get it twisted. Of course, dudes jerk off, but it's kind of like it. I don't know how long y'all sessions necessarily be with your dildos, or when y'all are spending time with yourself, as they say. Ours don't take long, but I don't know how long y'all takes. So it's kind of like it, because one, a solo don't have a definitive ending. It ain't like unless she like squirts or she creams like that. You feel
Well,
me?
yeah, I do want to learn how to squirt. I do. My orgasms are pretty big, so even when I'm playing, I'm not a squirter yet, but you
But you
know,
are the for what I see.
you know what? I know that I do. It's just not projectile because I
No,
get
but we don't want now if you could be able to do both now, that's just mind blowing. But a creamer, we love a creamer. We love pulling out the dick and that bitch got dang just look like a glazed donut. I'm just saying.
Okay,
That's
note taken.
right there. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I get very wet. That is something, it's a blessing. I'm not a person who typically needs a lot of lube. It just kind of works. It's pretty great. What was the question? Now I'm totally thinking about glazed donut dick, so I'm distracted.
I'm sorry, I got thrown off. I threw myself off when I said that. But oh God. So no, but like what's some of the stuff like? Do you do anal?
In my personal life, I have, but not on camera, not yet.
Okay, and that's something you look to add to your repertoire. Because here's the real question. All right, because you have your brand and you have in your mind where you want your career to go and how you want it to be. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this is a two-part question, twofold question. One, not folding to the pressure to stick to your brand, and two, because porn is becoming more extreme, because there's certain things that females the more that a female is open to, the more she might get bookings and to a certain extent and fit into certain circles. How do you balance not doing overextending yourself at the same time maintaining your sticking with your brand, but at the same time expanding your brand but not overextending yourself?
Those are good questions. So what I've figured out for me is that if I'm into it or it turns me on, it will still work. Like I'm not going to push myself to where I'm uncomfortable or into some extreme because my audience is pushing for that. I'm not going to do it because I think that I'm very energy sensitive. I vibe things very, very much. And I'm like, if I were to do something because my audience really wants to see it, but I'm not comfortable or I'm, maybe it's just not something I want to do, it's going to come through in the scene. It's not going to be sexy. It's going to look weird. It's not, and I just think that that's going to not translate well, even monetarily. So it may make a few people happy but it's not overall going to carry my brand forward. So, if I lose fans, because I know there's some people who just want to see some more really extreme stuff, then there's a lot of girls who do that, and that's fine.
Yeah, because people gotta understand. I hate when people think you don't have a choice. You have a choice on where you want your brand to look like and what you do in porn. If you don't ever want to do anal in this fucking business, you don't have to. I just say you just need to be just damn good to where they forget that you don't do anal.
Right.
See, that's the kicker. I tell people it's not about what you do, it's how you do it. That's the key.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, so far I'm still going strong. You know what I mean? And I thought, okay, well, when are they going to get bored of looking at me? Or, eventually those things happen. But I see my brand evolving to where, I don't even have to be in front of the camera forever. It's like, I'll bring other people in and
see, is expanding your. Okay, it's like this. The key is expanding your brand to where it's more than just your porn. It might be based off your porn. Like one of the things you were saying, you want to do podcasting. Podcasting now gives you a voice in a different platform. And the platform to, one, at bare minimum, point new people to your porn through being on these platforms. Because, sorry, OnlyFans don't get more traffic than Spotify.
Right.
Don't more than Apple. Let's you know, not even SoundCloud. You know what I'm saying? And two, on top of that, they're getting to know you outside of porn, which in turn might make them go get the porn. You know, period. It's like this, because the first question I asked myself was, okay, how do I make money from this podcast and shit? Because it's not money at first. You know, period.
Mm-hmm.
Point them to the shit that makes money. That's why I will always say allmylinks.com/pornrapstar. Yeah, that's right. You can find all my porn links there. Go ahead. I'm just saying, you know, period. It's like, yeah, it's because you can't hide who you are. Why not use it to your advantage?
Yes.
And plus, people want to know how to do this business to a certain extent. You kind of, and plus, it gives you opportunity to speak on shit that you always want to speak on. That's just me. I love it. You know.
Yeah.
And I like more of us do it. And that means I can be on their show and they can be on my show and we can just do the damn thing.
Exactly.
So it's like this. One thing from looking, you have variety. Now, I do have one request though.
What's that?
If you can, you know, give me some heels in some of them scenes, babe. Let's hear some heels.
You know, it's so funny. That has been asked of me a few times just this month. So
sorry.
Something's going on.
Sorry, you in a thong and some banging ass heels showing them. Oh my goodness. Just because the way your legs is built in your booty. You know what I'm saying? And also, you also have boobs. So, because people don't realize that's actually a rarity in the BBW game for women to have both. Mm-hmm. She's either top heavy or bottom heavy. Very rare that you have both, you know.
I did not actually realize that. That's interesting.
Yeah. You know. But like I said, but because I noticed that you keep variety, whatever you. How do you come up with your scenes? Where do you pull your inspiration from to come up with the different scenes that you do?
That's a good question too. So a lot of my content, not lately so much, but like earlier content, I did mostly massage themed stuff because that's you know, my wheelhouse. And
it's not a bad.
No, and it's great, and I love it, and I feel right at home with it. So, with that, a lot of the scenes, like if I ever did a storyline video with the massage, it was based off of like real things that happened. So, or at least inspired by real things, or I'll think about scenarios that would be sexy to me, or I think could happen, you know. Friends of mine have given me ideas as far as websites that have like exotic or erotic rather literature, things like that, where
you can really get in the many bags with the massage. Because just to give you some examples, not just, for example, you can do the massage, you give them head, or even better, massage as a happy ending of you milking, you know, period.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's like I tell people, if there's a niche that fits you, what you do is you play with that niche much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, period. It's kind of like, because it's like, it was the point that I could see you bringing another girl, you supposed to be training her, y'all double teaming. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, because it makes you kind of stand out, you know, period. Because it's like this. People want a story. And I don't understand why people don't get that. People want a story. There's nothing wrong with having role play scenes, you know, period. There's nothing wrong with doing some of the vanilla role play scenes, because there's a tangent that actually, that's a bag you're missing out on, you know, period. I see that you've done blush. So trust me, Blush, they doing some fantastic shit.
Oh yeah, they are.
God, I am sorry, it blew my mind. What, the voiceover? Someone doing erotic poetry while she's sucking them off. Hey, shit right there.
Yes. See, and that's the thing. I love seeing all these different kind of creative applications, to porn, because it's been around forever. So to see something new is kind of like exciting. Yeah. So I try and use things that are real for my stories. And then frankly, even with Gonzo, like just straight sex scenes, what I've done with those is, my fans, one thing I know about marketing is all about stories. And my fans, I talk to them like, I think about them. I'm mindful of them. I'm always wanting to create something that they're going to love. And so for that reason, I share the story with them. I'll give them the backstory, or I'll tell them how this thing happened, or, so even the plain Gonzo scenes have context that makes them sexy and makes them interesting.
Because people don't realize, just for example, her just laying in the bed, rubbing her clit. She ain't saying the word, just rubbing her clit. And the dude walks in, and she just grabs his dick and starts giving him head while she rubbing her clit. That little story right there draws the guy in, versus she just laying back, he eating the pussy. Just like, it just comes in that way. You know what I'm saying? It's a build up. It's anticipation.
Oh yeah.
It's just because people also got to realize you also got to use psychology in this.
So, right. When I post my videos, like I'll send the videos in my messages on OnlyFans, for example, and I'll give a big description about what they're about to see. Because I don't want them to be like, well, what am I getting? What am I going to actually see? Like, I want them to be very informed, and I also want that what they read turns them on.
Yeah, so, see, words matter.
Yes. They really matter. And to be able to paint a picture and tell a story and, give context, it makes that sex scene more interesting. Like, okay, if I'm in doggy style and I'm just, maybe it was a professional porn star, that it could be a really hot scene, or it's also like, that was a fan and that fan got to fuck her. Like, oh my God, like I have to see this fan, and like, did he do a good job? Would I do a better job? Like, there's so much that can go through their mind.
Yeah, it's because understand, it's like we are giving you a fantasy, and that's what it's about. And when I came in the game, that's what it was supposed to be about. Straight up, it was to make the fantasy, because they wanted to see a hot chick get fucked. If they wanted to see Shorty Next Door, they wouldn't fuck their wives. They wouldn't spend the money to look at us.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just like, damn, I'm still just questioning. You've been doing this for a year and some change. I'm like, Shorty really got it down pat. I got to give it to you.
Thank you.
I like, okay, things that you was hitting that you've been working with and stuff. I'm like, all right. See, I knew it. I did my research.
I see that. Well, and there's still a few people on my list I'd want to work with, but not everybody also in the industry is comfortable working with BBWs either. So I know that sometimes that's.
But see, no, I'm gonna tell you what it is, and I tell people this: it's when they have no choice. You feel what I'm saying? See, people, I'm about to school y'all on some shit. When I see a girl work with a certain male talent, I say, okay, she's white hot right now. She's getting white hot. When I saw it with Richard Mann, I said, okay, Richard Mann don't do BBWs often. Let's keep it 100. I mean, I want to have him on this show. He might be like, no, I do BBWs, but no, you don't do them to the level or to the frequency that you do the smaller girls.
Right.
For good or bad, worse, it's understandable. He does pay gigs. I get that, whatever. But for him to come from that schooling where you don't, it might hurt you to work with a BBW because of Hollywood with the image that they want to look. the fact that he steps away from that and say, yo, I want to shoot Amanda Thicke speaks volumes. Because when you get guys that don't normally shoot BBWs bending your ass back with your hair and goddamn give you the long stroke, I'm sorry, that was a hot ass visual, yo. I was like, I can't use that for the cover. Hell no, that shit is slide like on YouTube. But but no, it speaks volumes. I'm just saying. You know, period. It's like, because even to the point where you just named off all the ones within a year and a half, you didn't hit probably all the top BBW companies. The only thing you have not hit is Rodney Moore. And that's if he's still going. I think he's still going.
Huh.
You might have hit Rodney Moore. I don't know.
Not yet, but I'm down for it. Like, that's the thing. I haven't done a lot to pursue companies, but this year I've been thinking on that. I was like, I've worked with some great companies. I've worked with some great talent. I try to, like when I'm on set, I really, I don't even know. I try to be nice. I try to be professional. I want to bring my best to the game. And so I think that not everybody thinks that way. Not everybody works that way. And it makes me easier to work with. So anybody I've worked with, I know, has good things to say.
Because even to the point that when I came in, girls could be fresh off the boat. That means they ain't never done shit, been in front of the camera, took a picture, what have you, and got into porn. Mm-hmm. Now they kind of want you somewhat seasoned in some way, shape, form, or fashion with a following. So
right.
They once again, I said they won't calculate the risks because the content creation era has hurt the money of the mainstream companies. Because one, why do I need to go to them when she's shooting with Porter Rock?
Right.
Porter Rock, I can just go to Amanda Thicke. And see, that would change the game right there. So it's kind of like, based off of that makes companies want to fuck with you because they seen you shoot with the guys that they book.
Right. And that's happened. There's companies that I think I reached out to initially, and then they didn't really they didn't take me seriously, and they just kind of dropped it. And then they circled back. And this has happened a couple of times.
Yeah, the companies, and you can understand what I mean, they don't want you till you white hot.
Right.
Girls don't get that. You get white hot. That means they're seeing you. It's a reason why you shoot with established talent. Now, I tell any girl, the blueprint is you have residence male talent that you work with, and then you have established male talent that you branch out to build your cachet. And the whole point of it is, if girls keep screaming, I want a paid gig, well, how you get paid gig in 2022 moving forward, you need to shoot with the dicks that they're paying.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what they're going to do? They're going to ask that dick, well, how was she? Was she nice to work with? How the content selling? That's the questions.
Right.
He ain't how good the pussy was. He ain't asked how good the head was. Well, I was working with him. Okay. Was she fun to work with? Was she professional? Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Last question. How the scene doing? Oh, it's making you money? Oh.
Wait, what was it again? What was your question?
No, the last question of that, he asked the male talent, how's it selling?
Oh, right.
See, because that's why I tell females, it's like, understand it's a method to the madness of what you do. Period. Because even to the point that, for example, like I'm pretty sure, have you tapped into the market of custom videos?
A little bit. It's a little harder for me to do because of my family schedule, but I am going to be doing more of that this summer. So, but yes,
balance.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just the question I always ask them: how do you balance it?
Tough. Yeah, it's really tough. I mean, for me, it's a little different because, I've got shared custody. So when my children are gone, they're actually in another state. Their dad is still in California when we moved here to Vegas. So I don't worry about them coming home early. I don't have to like take everything down right away. So for me, it's a little different because I get to set up for a few days and I can work and I don't have to worry about, you know, if I have a vibrator laying out on the table or something, you know, it's okay. But yeah, when they are here, I don't really get anything done other than the social media stuff. Like I have to do all the filming and content creation when they're gone. So for the parents who, you know, have
because you said you had, let's say you had 7 days, right? How
Right.
do you pace yourself? Because see, here's the thing that people don't understand. When you're doing content trade or shoots, what have you, you're dealing with different dicks 9 times out of 10. You might deal with different dicks within the same day. You know, period. How do you pace yourself to one, you won't be worn out by the time you hit 7, that you can give each scene the same energy in the whole 9?
The days where I know I'm going to be filming, I don't make myself do much of anything else because I don't want to be exhausted. So, if let's say I had 2 scenes in a day, I would try and make sure I, you know, got enough sleep the night before. At least I try. And I try and drink a lot of water so I'm hydrated. I don't like to eat too much before I shoot though, because I don't want to have like stomach ache or, you know, digestive issues when you're on set. That would be awful. It's better to just be hungry.
Sometimes I did not eat before I shot. Now,
Yeah.
I smoked. I didn't eat because
I
I was
really
afraid it was. Yeah, because I was afraid it was going to make me lazy.
Oh, yeah. See, that could do it too, make you tired.
And
But for me, it's just like I'd rather not. Plus, you're going to work up an appetite anyway, so I just, you know, work it out. And then if I have something else later, I try to just rest. I'll go, you know, shower and do my whole like douching routine, like the whole thing, and make sure that I feel fresh and give myself enough time in between where I don't feel like I'm coming right off of another shoot, you know. Even if it's just a few hours where I have enough downtime. I'm learning to play the guitar. Maybe I'll play the guitar a little bit just to like decompress before I go. And because as soon as I go into the next scene, I'm forgetting about everything else I've done all day, and I'm just there. And I'm here to learn, and I'm here to play, and I'm here to rock it.
most definitely. So, have you done content houses?
No, I'm not a fan, but I don't know. Like I get the concept, and I understand why people do it, but I also, it's a lot of people potentially having you in their content, and I don't really love that because I don't know where it's going to go or where it's going to end up.
Even with me, like, nothing against people that do the content houses. I'm not knocking it. It's a great experience. Do it if you have the opportunity. But me, the way I always played it was I'd rather have you one-on-one for a weekend for us to get as much content as possible between the two of us than me to have to fight to get content with 7 other people or 10 other people.
Yeah.
Because much is fucking possible. And the reason why, because we did different shit. It could be role play. It can be fetish or what have you. You know, 'cause I try to give the lady the most gambit of scenes that she can have. But I used to come up with some doozy for some role play scenes. So it's kind of like, to me, it was the more to maximize your time. Plus, on top of that, it's a little easier on your coochie because you're only dealing with one dick.
Yeah.
Unless, and you know, my other dude, but that usually be one day when that happened. That'd be a 1D, one-shot deal.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
because people don't realize.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, what you about to say?
No, I was just gonna say I think I'm better one-on-one with people anyway. I think when like the whole group setting, it can be fun because, you know, it's like cross marketing. You know, you can kind of tap into each other's audiences, but then yeah, like you're saying, like if somebody's got a totally different style, totally different audience, maybe they, you know, totally different genre altogether, it's not even really that helpful sometimes.
And plus, time. It gives you time to get it right. You get what I'm coming from? It's like, like for example, like if I want to do, let's say, action stills after the shoot, I have time to do it versus if I'm in a content house, I may not have time to do it because we might have took a break within the scene. No telling what happened. She might. I mean, a million things can happen on set. I'm just saying that can't prolong a scene. He's not in it. His Mr. Happy is not happy at the moment. He's having issues.
Right. Well, and I think that
Meditate.
happens a lot with group stuff too, right? Because there's too many people or whatever. It's like some of the guys have a harder time with performance anyway.
So it's kind of like it's a different animal versus if it's a more of a one-on-one setting with you, let's say, and the only other person is the camera guy. Because that's how I read my set. It was me and who needed to be in the scene. That's why I preferred it. And the only way I had to deal with her own look is because she brought her boyfriend. Fine, just sit over there. Don't say shit.
Right.
For coming, thank you for letting her do this, but just sit over there, relax, and stay out the way of the camera. We don't win. And we put you way out the way so we can't even mistakenly catch you, even on the transition. You just, you know what I'm saying? Period. So, I mean, but see, that's the difference between dealing with a professional and dealing with a AKA content creator. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah. It's really, I'll just say this. I'm not going to name names, but there's been a couple people that I've worked with that I thought had a higher level of professionalism. And then when I worked with them, I realized that wasn't so much the case. I was like, oh, this is not really their full-time thing. This is kind of a part-time hobby type of thing. And it came through in performance. It came through in like professionalism, and they were nice people and really like happy to be there and happy to work and all the things. But I was like, I found myself teaching a lot, and I found myself spending way too much time, and it got so frustrating that frankly some of that content that I made, I didn't even release it because I was like, I was so annoyed by the time I was done that that scene can't even be any good. If I don't take pride in what I've created, I'm not even going to release it. So
I've had some scenes that, like my cameraman, he shot me and him split the scenes. I told him to keep it. I knew it was gone. I knew he was gonna put it up. I wasn't gonna do it because I just cared about how much. But no, it feels good to work with people that is like-minded. People that think like you, that work like you, because it's like this at the end of the day. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm wrong. I enjoy that we didn't sit there and had one of the sloppiest and nastiest and freakiest shoots ever. And the lights go off and it's back to normal. You go home to yours, I go home to mine. We might have sat there and chit-chatted, talk about some porn, smoke a blunt. Then you go home and I go home. Period.
Right.
That's because I always took this in mind. I met you because of porn. I didn't meet you because I met you at the bar and you thought I was cute.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and that's something else too, is like the guys that, even if they are professional, if they ask you out after or they want to like hook up on the side or off camera, like I find that to be so unprofessional that I'll probably never work with that person ever again, because it's just like, what are you doing? We're not dating. That's not what this is. This is work. We're coworkers. What are you thinking?
Yeah, but that goes to the misconception, because the misconceptions about us not only is with the fans, but it's also within the industry itself. Because like they automatically assume that you don't have a kid or you don't have a husband or a job. You know what I'm saying? That it's part of it is because I guess females have to look available. so they can't really divulge whether they have somebody or not to a certain extent in some cases. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like dudes really. I'm just gonna say this: dudes are lames, man. There's a lot of lames in the game, baby. I'm sorry, it just. Because I'm sorry, you're already getting the pussy. I mean, ain't that the whole point? If that's your thought process, you already fucking her.
Right.
You ain't have to take her out. You ain't have to go through trying to holler at her or impress her, bring her a gift. You get the nastiest and sloppiest and freaky as shit. I'm like, you should want to go home and go to sleep, motherfucker.
Yeah. But then also, like, for the ones who are single in this industry too, like, I know women that are in the industry, and the single guys, as soon as they hear the word porn, they're like, oh, it's going to be an easy lay. Actually, it's the opposite. It's not going to be an easy lay because we have to get tested. We have, like, there's standards we have to match in order to be a professional in this industry, and hooking up with some random Joe who probably tests twice a year is not going to cut it. Like, that's how shit gets into the industry. So it's actually harder for you to hook up with a porn star.
I don't think people talk enough about how much we have to curve our sex life in this damn to do the business itself.
Oh yeah, you don't. Those random hookups don't happen. That's not like no, because then it could jeopardize your paycheck, your reputation, and if you have bad tests, people are not going to want to work with you. Like, it's just not. A smart person who cares about their brand and their industry in their professionalism in this industry is not going to jeopardize that for some random Tinder hookup. It's not going to happen.
See, and y'all smoke that over.
Yeah.
See, I didn't hear you on here for an hour and 30 minutes, Miss Lady. I just got to say, look, I got to have you come back. Because there's a lot we didn't even tap into.
I know.
Love to have you. So with that, can I call you my smoke buddy?
Yes, you can call me your smoke buddy.
So there you go. See, I got another thick, big booty smoke buddy. And I'm happy. And you will get to hear her not on the Smokers Lounge, but also in the premium smoke room. This is my subscription-based, Miss Lady. This is where we get more nasty, more candid, more dirty, even more, you know what I'm saying? Like, I tell anybody, anything controversial, that's in the premium smoke room. So that's why I put it. If you're going to hear it, you have to pay for it. That's just all it is to it. And also, we'll get her on camera so we can see that pretty face and that pretty smile.
Thank you. Yeah, let's do it. Sounds fun.
And maybe she even could turn around and, flash y'all with the booty a little bit to show y'all what. Back of that name. So with that being said, tell everybody where they can spend money on you.
OnlyFans at Amanda Thick, 2Ks. I'm on ManyVids. You can find me pretty easily on Twitter. All of these are at Amanda Thick. I'm on Snapchat now. I'm on Instagram, although, they always shut you down for stupid reasons. So that one's Amanda_Thick. And right now I've got a website in the making. It's amandathick.com, but it's still under construction. So that should be out hopefully in the next month or so.
See, that's the other thing we ain't tap into. Standalone, have your own website. See, it's so much. She got to come back, people. We're going to set that up. We're going to make that happen. So, you know how we end this all day, every day, people. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience? If you didn't learn anything, smoke this over. Thank you for coming to the lounge, Mama.
Thank you.
See, I do this podcast for one reason only, to give you people knowledge. Kill your misconception, whatever the fuck you think of people in the sex work trade. You can throw that out in the fucking window for I'm concerned. I'm here to give you facts. I'm here to give you truth, honesty. And trust me, ain't no apologies here. It's uncensored, to the point. The ups and downs, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent.
And every now and then I change it up. I might give you something in the gaming industry. I might give you a therapist. I might even give you a movie director. You don't know what you might get when you come to the lounge. That's the beauty of coming to the lounge. So, that being said, Spotify, Anchor. I even got premium smoke, premium episodes for you to watch. I'm talking about STO, the Smokers Lounge, on all the platforms and powered by Anchor. Sponsored by LSSwirl.com and proud member of the GW District Black Podcast Network. Stop fucking with me. Stop playing with me. Come smoke with me. Life is a learning experience. What's the point of the experience? You need to learn anything. Smoke that over.